Man, get off your ass, man. It's time to get up and start moving, G. That 5 pounds you want to lose, I lost that yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Out here getting it. It's a grind, baby. Get off your ass, bitch. Yo, AT. Chef hat off today. We're back here today with an edition of Greenhouse Health. Today we're going to be talking about fasting. Fasting. One, what is fasting? Little definition, I'm not going to go there with it. Fasting, to me, abstaining from one of any substance. It doesn't necessarily have to be a food. You can fast from an array of things. We're not going to get into listing them out here. I'm going to stick to the main thing. Fasting as a way of weight loss and health is what I like to stick to. So that means sticking to more so abstaining from food for periods of time, abstaining from certain things, sugar, necessarily it might be potato chips, whatever it may be. For each one of us, we have something that we know we can abstain from, that we need to abstain from, and that's the one there that we need to. I think that's the one. So we're gonna dive in. We're gonna talk first about, I guess, just getting into Greenhouse Health and what our direction is here as a channel. Greenhouse Health will be here to highlight a series of my health journey. I've lost over 80 pounds throughout my life. The heaviest I've ever been was about 285 pounds. I could say that's probably a generous number. I may have been closer to 290, but 285. And now I sit at 191 as of yesterday. So I could be around 190-ish. Who knows? But I definitely feel great. Honestly, I feel great. This month has been a little different. I haven't been able to fast as much as I usually like to. In the simple fact of I've been on a raw vegan diet. Let's try that out for the first time. I've been vegan before. I've been vegetarian before. But I'm just recently coming off a 1.5-year stint of a high protein, low carb diet. That helped me lose a lot. Help me lose a lot of the bulk of the weight that I have now. But the core of what I believe in is mostly eating plants and plant-based. That's just what I believe in. You don't have to believe in that. Fasting, you can do it regardless of what your dietary needs are. So let's get into the direction of Greenhouse Health. Greenhouse Health is going to be a channel that's going to chronicle my weight loss journey. It's going to take it from obviously where I am here now. I'm going to show backlogs of where I came from. You'll be able to see the journey that I've been on. You'll be able to see the losses, the gains, because there was definitely some gains. It's been a 2-year process of, I guess, trying to get something to stick. Everything stuck. It was just me having to be consistent at times. And, we all know life happens. Certain things that might throw you off your course, but having the mentality and maintaining the will and want to get that goal. That's huge. So also, we also have these health talks here. They're going to be big. Health talks are going to be big on this channel. Yeah, they're going to be workout videos. You're going to see me busting sweats and squats and everything else. As right now, maybe not too many squats. I am dealing with a knee injury. I have an appointment to see a surgeon here on March 3rd. So wish me luck with that. From this point on, I will have backlog video of the start and obviously to now. You'll see what I'm able to do now. You'll be able to work out with me. I'll have live videos of me working out, and I'll post routines and all the array of things we'll be able to have here in Greenhouse Health. So I guess we can get into the first kind of fast. What were some of the first fasts, and how did I get introduced to fasting? Well, first, I'm a YouTube junkie. I watch a lot of YouTube, so odds are if you had a channel and it's something that if you have a channel and it's something that I'm interested in, I most likely have watched your content. I leave likes. I have a 15-second rule on anything. If I'm watching your content for 15 seconds, I'm gonna like it. 15 seconds is enough time to say you got my attention. So in watching YouTube, you find a lot, you can go down a lot of rabbit holes and a lot of different things. And I just was in a health rabbit hole. I was in anything and everything health. I wanted to know how this person lost weight, this person weight loss journey. I was watching a lot of different channels. And one thing a lot of the channels, the reoccurring theme, everyone always mentioned intermittent fasting. And I had always heard of fasting, but I've never heard of the term intermittent fasting. So I had to do my research and look into it. I had to understand what that was and how I could make it useful to me. So intermittent fasting, in a sense, will just be fasting within periods of time of the day. You can break your intermittent fast down as in a 12-hour cycle, 12 hours on, 12 hours off. There's a 16-8. I mean, you can break it down in a bunch of different ways, but I think medically they're broken down into 3 different fasts, 16-8, 18-6, and a 12 and a 12. The fast that I usually frequent are 16-hour, and I love the 16-hour fast because you usually tend to get into what they would call a fat burn zone. If you track, if you're tracking, if you have a Fitbit, if you have an Apple Watch, if you have an app where you track your fasting. I use Zero. Zero is a great app for tracking fasting. If you have those items, you can track better in time to know when you hit these certain ranges. But I love 16-hour fast because it's right at that end of that fast where you get into the fat burn zone. And usually at the end of fasting is where I tend to love to work out. I know that sounds a little crazy, working out fasted, but I mean, for me, it works. A lot of people might not have the best results from it, but I'm gonna tell you, I mean, it might be tough to start like anything is, but once you take those training wheels off and you get rolling, like it's like melting butter. That fat comes right off, man. It's insane. But I mean, you wouldn't, once you honestly do the just think of the basic science of it. If you're in the fat burn zone, that means you're highly susceptible to burn fat. And if you're going to the gym and you're doing an hour of cardio and another half hour of working out with a HIIT routine or something of that nature, I mean, just think about like you're burning an extra 1,500 calories of pure body fat. I think of just, if you're doing that 5 days a week, you have to realize the results are gonna be stunning, honestly stunning. And that's something I can speak to, and I can attest that it works. It works. I'm no health expert, no scientist. I'm not telling you what to do with your body and what to do and what will work. I'm telling you what I did and what worked for me. That's all I can do. A lot of people will ask what benefits you get from fasting. I can tell you what benefits I got from fasting. Fasting for me gave me a sense of discipline. Um, I've always been a very disciplined person. Felt, but with food, that's one where everyone I feel like, especially myself, because I have an addictive mentality. So my mentality says, "Hey, I love cheesecake." Every time I'm at the grocery store, I'm going to buy cheesecake. Now that's not obviously that's not the smartest thing to do. it's not. It's just not the smartest thing to do. But honestly, if you can, and there's no one stopping you, why not just get a cheesecake when you're at the grocery store? And honestly, you have to be the person in front of yourself to say, no, I'm not going to get a cheesecake. Honestly, I'm not going to get any cheese at all. I'm vegan now. So, no dairy, So I've been making vegan cheesecakes. So you can check out my other page, Greenhouse Cooks. We have raw vegan cheesecakes there. Check that out. But back to it, just having the benefits of it. Discipline is a big one. You become very disciplined in a time sense of knowing, hey, between this time and this time, I need to be purpose driven. I'm not going to eat one. And I have to stay busy. A lot of people say, how do you beat the craves when you're fasting and when you get to a point where you're really hungry? And I just say, stay busy. Do some push-ups. And I think I'm joking, but I mean, it's honestly a serious thing. And when you're craving and you're doing something, you have to think about it in the terms of your relationship with food, right? Do you have a good relationship or a bad relationship? Are you one to say, we all have off days where we're sitting around and we're not going to work out today and we're going to watch a little television, watch some TV series, whatever it may be. But if you notice every time you sit to watch your television series that you tend to want to snack, you need to find something else to do at that time. It sounds harsh, but that's what it is. You need to get off that couch and go and find something else to do at that time. If you're finding it hard, and it's kind of the definition of insanity. If you're finding that you keep doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results, so we can chunk it up there. Benefits there. A lot of people also ask necessarily, where does your energy come from? Do you feel drained? That's the first question I always get from people at the gym. They might come up and ask me about a diet or so. Hey, what do you usually like to eat before you come in? And I'll just say, hey, I usually don't eat before I get here. And they just look at me like I'm like wearing a clown mask, and I'm just like, what do you mean you don't eat before you work out? I'm like, I don't eat before I work out, man. I never liked to, even when I played high school sports. Eating before doing physical activity for me never made sense. I never like to put food in my stomach unless it was hours before. I mean, it had to be at least 4 hours at minimum. 4 hours at minimum for food to have sat in my stomach to digest before I consent to any physical activity. It's just too rough. I mean, I'm not getting to all that, but definitely for me personally, I prefer to work out in a fasted state. Hence, like I said about the fat burn zone, once you reach the end of that 16-hour fast, tail end, you'll be entering a fat burn zone, which would allow you to work out and have double the benefit in a sense. I mean, if you like to say, if you think of it that way, you've got the benefit of that you fasted and actually enter the fat burn zone, and now I can go into the gym and get my heart rate to a certain point for a period of time to enter another rate of fat burning, just with my heart rate being accelerated. And now you're a fat burning factory at that point. And if we get into longer fasts, I do a 36-hour fast once a week. If we get to those, and usually after 18 hours, I'm going to ketosis, and then say I would do a workout then, I mean, it's limitless. I mean, honestly, results are limitless when we're talking in these terms. You can honestly lose weight, which some would say at an unhealthy rate. At an unhealthy rate. When these professional fighters and things, when they're going into weight cutting, these are some of the tactics they're using. They don't divulge them to the public usually, but I could imagine these are some of the tactics they're using. I couldn't imagine any other way to lose 15 pounds in a matter of a week. So, I was getting more into like the energy from fasting. I don't know if everyone's heard of a keto diet. A body has the ability to go into what they call ketosis. Ketosis is pretty much when your body goes into making energy from fat storage and old food storages, but mostly fat storages. Because at that point of ketosis, your body is use all of the nutrients. And from what my brain breaks it down, your body's used all the nutrients from the food you've eaten, and now it needs more nutrients to make this machine work, and it starts to pull energy from fat sources in your body, and then you're burning pretty much what I consider body fat. You're burning pure body fat when you reach ketosis. So, imagine working out in that state. Fat burn is one thing, but when you reach ketosis, completely another state. Working on a keto, I love it, honestly. And when you're able to get into a routine, like I say, my routine is this usually. Like I said, this is not a recommendation for anybody. This is what I do. Sunday night, I try to bulk up. I eat as much as I can. And from midnight, Monday morning, all the way through to Tuesday noon, I don't eat. That's a 36-hour window. I do not eat. I'm staying from eating. All I drink is spring water. Spring water, no lemon, no lime, nothing. Just water. And I try to get 2 workouts in that time period. You gotta try to get 2 workouts in that time period. Very beneficial for me. That works for me. Might not work for you. Works for me just because it works for me. So usually after Tuesday, I'll pick up at noon, and of course, try to break your fast immediately with something healthy. I usually break my fast with a banana because bananas are dense, they're filling, and it's my favorite fruit. So they're usually very handy. They're already peel it, eat it. Very, very quick to get to. So when you're coming off a 36-hour fast and a workout, you want to get something in you quick. A banana's just right there. Great one. But usually I'll kill a few bananas, and then I'll try to go and make it a smoothie or some of that nature. But you always want to break your fast with something beneficial. Put it back in. Put things that you want your body to have back in you. You don't want to go and eat something greasy, something fatty right after, unless you nuts or something like that, or high in fats. Even then, but I would say fresh fruit. Get you some fruit, a smoothie, something that's going to be nutritious to the body, something that's not going to hold you down, not going to make you feel heavy throughout the day, something that's going to give you, and honestly, it's going to me, when I have those days, the brain fog. We all go through the brain fog. We're all getting older. If you're around my age, I'm getting older. I'm 29. But if you're getting up there, we start to experience brain fog. You youngsters, when you watching this, just know around 27, 28, 29, you start forgetting shit. You start forgetting shit. It just the truth. But honestly, when I have those days where I fast, I wake up, get my fruit, get my juice, honestly, the brain fog is literally, I don't notice much of it. Honestly, I feel clear. In the sense, it feels like you're walking on soft cotton the rest of the day. It's just, honestly, good energy. I just can't explain how good I feel when that happens, when I do that. And that's once a week. So going on from there, I usually stop eating again around 8 p.m. I always try to do around 8. So the next day around 10, which would 10 a.m. would be a 16-hour period of fasting again, which I would go into. Well, I would end the fast. I would end the fast at that point. So at 8 p.m. Tuesday, so I was pretty much start eating from noon Tuesday around to 8 p.m. And that's not necessarily, most days I really don't eat directly at noon. I may be taking a nap, I may be doing something. It may be 2 or even 3 before I even have a meal. And after that, I mean, the gates are open. I pretty much, I don't have any restrictions. I only work out Monday through Friday, so I would get my workouts in throughout the weeks. You know, I've already explained that I like to work out fasted, so you're probably already, if you can, put together that I've been working out in the mornings. I will be having videos of a lot of those workouts, so we'll be able to put a lot of this together as we age in our channel here. You'll be able to see all of this play out in live time, live action. I'll post photos, videos, things of that nature. You will be able to see all of this. It won't be a secret. So I had someone ask me, is fasting beneficial if you're trying to bulk? And I necessarily had to think about that question. And I didn't really know how to answer that because I've never been in a position to bulk. I've always been a heavier guy. I've never in my life said, hey, I need to gain weight. I've never been in that position. So I've never really had to think of things from that perspective. So I thought that was a great question. But in my eyes, I will honestly say, you know, I think in any body shape, body type, and size, you should fast and can fast. And if I even think a bodybuilder, say if you want, I mean, you have to sleep right as a bodybuilder. I mean, I haven't bodybuilt, so don't. I'm not an expert on what they do and what they. But I've heard of some guys having every 4 hours to eat. So I'm not knowing if these guys are waking up in the middle of the night on a timer to eat a meal, or if they sleep through the night. So in my mind, if you're sleeping through the night, you at least have to have 8 hours of fast a day. At least, you know, I mean, I couldn't imagine guys are breaking their sleep to wake up and eat. That's not judging here. It's not a channel. We're not going to judge people on this channel. We're not doing that. But in my answer there, I would say if you're trying to bulk, do some research. Maybe this isn't the place for you to look, because as of right now, I'm not in the bulking stage. I'm still in the cutting stage. I've been in a caloric deficit now for 2 years. I've lost majority of my weight. I've only got about 6 pounds to go to hit my goal, a 2-year goal. We'll have a video for that, you best believe it. Good time to be me right now, for me, I'll say that. Good time to be me, for me, I'd say that for sure. But if you want to cut, if we're talking about cutting, the tools and the things that I've explained so far, if you have listened to the things I've laid out and outlined so far, these things will help you cut like never before. Honestly, I've never even had anything that's made me lose weight more than these fasting techniques, working out in a fasted state, in a fat burn zone, that or ketosis, compounded with a caloric deficit. And that will be another episode. We'll be making an episode about that, being in a caloric deficit. That's just another topic along the stuff that I can make another half-hour video about. So, another day. But if you're cutting, main thing, if you're going to fast, if you're thinking about fasting, just being in a literal sense, I don't want you to dive in head first in the fasting It's nothing that it is very hard on the body to start. It is very hard on the body, and I want to say the mind as well. And that's where we go back to the discipline. As much as it hurt my stomach some days, it hurt my brain. I had to literally force myself to lay down some nights, sleep, go to just turn all the lights off, lay down, head under the cover. Like it's tough on the body, but honestly, and you see there how I can say how the discipline, when you get a growth and discipline, how it just gives you so much more confidence, how it can break even depression. Do we understand? It can break depression, fasting. It's just a tool. It's not going to make you lose 1,000,000 pounds. Fasting isn't necessarily even going to make you lose weight. Fasting is going to be a tool to help you lose weight. Added along with everything else, being in a caloric deficit, working out, staying active. Me, I like to walk. Going on walks alone, you can burn 500 calories on a 1-hour walk. I mean, a 1-hour walk around your neighborhood is done before you snap a finger. Honestly. Tracking your calories, tracking your movement, tracking everything. Invest in a Fitbit. They're very inexpensive. You can get Fitbits as low as $40 nowadays. You don't have to get the most fanciest one, updated one, smartwatch one. You get a Fitbit. I've updated this thing 4 times. This is my 4th edition. So when you get going, just ease into it. I always try to tell people the first thing you should try to do is just, I wouldn't say eliminate breakfast, but eat a brunch. If you usually wake up and you're eating food at 9 a.m., 10 a.m., 11 a.m., give yourself a 3-hour buffer. Just push it back 5 days a week. Just eat 3 hours later than you usually would. That'll be your introduction. And the next week, we all say you got an 8-hour fast. You have to sleep, right? Add 4 hours there. Let's go for 12. Let's say you wake up at 6 a.m. or you start your window at 6 a.m. You close it off at 6 p.m. Whatever you like to do. Just, a 12-hour fast. However you want to break it down. Give yourself a 12-hour window to eat. Ease into it is the main thing. You don't want to dive head first in this. Like I said, it's hard on the body. And honestly, if you're like me, I dove into it, honestly. I mean, I'm going to tell you not to, but if you're like me, you're going to dive into it. And those hard days definitely make you appreciate these days, the good days, when you can do a 36-hour fast and it's nothing. I've done 72-hour fasts. It's the longest I've gone ever in life. I haven't gone beyond that. 72 hours, I couldn't believe I did that. It was insane. It was insane. But that's another video, another time, another conversation, another day. But I'm just gonna say, stay consistent. Don't let off days get you down. Say you're on you want to do a 36-hour fast. Say you want to do a 16-hour fast and you only make it 12 hours and you just can't take it anymore and you have to eat. And that's something I'm going to say. If that's something I'm going to tell you right now. If you feel that you need to eat, like, hey, I can't move, man, my head is killing me, eat. Do not kill you. Don't do that. Eat. Like, don't do that. Don't hurt yourself trying to gain discipline through fasting. Don't do that. Eat. Break the fast. Damn that shit. Like, break the fast. Get yourself together. But track it and say, okay, today I got 12 hours. Let's try this again tomorrow. You get to that 14 hours that next day. Then you get to 15, and then, so on, man. We know what's going on. We know what's going on. So ease yourself into it, man. Don't try to go crazy going in. I'm going to start like Travis said. We're going to do 36 hours Monday. We're going to 16, 16, 16, 16. And it's like, and you can't. I mean, I'm not going to say you can, but just don't do it. Just don't do it. Start off slow. Don't let off days get you down. They happen. Anything with myself, when I'm starting something new, I give myself 3 opportunities to make a mistake. I usually don't even use them. But I call them get out of jail free cards. If I'm going to stop eating sugar for the month, I give myself 3 opportunities to eat sugar for the month. And it's honestly another way of gaining discipline. You kind of, when at the end of the month, if you still have all 3 of those get out of jail free cards, I mean, you did great. If you used one, you did great. If you used all 3, you did great. It was an entire month. That's me, man. That's just me. I try to take everything day at a time and enjoy the process along the way. And like I say, you can stay consistent. Staying consistent at it, keeping at it, it's the best thing you can do. Not giving up, it's the best thing you can do. That's real. That's going to be all today for our fasting episode. I hope I really covered everything. I hope I was able to teach you something. I hope you learned something. Hope I covered what I even wanted to cover. I'm going to review a lot of this, and maybe we'll have a part 2 to this episode. I mean, we can do 40 parts of this episode because honestly, fasting has been going on for hundreds, maybe thousands of years, and there's the entire, who knows how much information there is out here. So there's not in any one video I can tell you every single thing about fasting there is. Make sure you leave that like, subscribe, share the video if I've helped you. For now, that's Greenhouse Health with your boy AT. We're back, we're gone, we're off. Peace.